Tennis elbow can be one of the trickiest conditions to get over. Okay, so when we say tennis elbow, it's good to understand what that is. So it's actually, we used to think it was inflammation of the tendon of the wrist extensor. So these muscles that kind of extend the wrist, which you can see here, the tendon we thought eventually got inflamed from overuse and then underwent some changes in that way. We now call it lateral elbow tendinopathy because we know that it's not an inflammatory condition per se. It can be either a degenerative condition or a reactive condition of that tendon to the load we're placing on it. The reason why tendinopathies can be so difficult and tricky to treat is because if you don't treat them correctly, they can really last a long time. So about a third of these in this paper they found last longer than a year. Treatment options they discussed in this paper, the first was pharmacotherapy. It's not a great option, to be honest. Very conflicting evidence. And if you need it to just put out the fire a little bit, like if everything seems like it's really hurting a lot and you just need to put stuff out, it can be a decent option short term. The second treatment option in this paper is manual therapy. Things like active release technique or myofascial release, instrument-assisted soft tissue, dry needling, acupuncture, cupping, manipulation, mobilizations, all those are decent options to at least get someone moving in the right direction with this condition. And then as with all tendinopathies, the best thing is exercise. So this paper, again, is from 2015. It's a little older, so they don't discuss a ton of isometric stuff, which we love for all tendinopathies to start. Keith Barr's work has shown that you can actually change the tendon itself. So for us, it's like we always start with some type of isometrics and then we progress them from there. The heavy load eccentrics, the long-term outcomes with heavy load eccentrics in terms of like recurrence and then just like not getting rid of the pain, it's too high for us. So I really like to start people off with just some isometrics and then we build from there. And then the last thing I'll mention is you have to think of the brain's involvement in this. So what can happen is if you have a chronic condition, any type of tendinopathy can be prone to this. So you have these pain signals coming from that injured tendon, and it happens over and over and over. And then it might not just be the tendon that's the problem. It's actually the signals coming from the brain and then being sent back down. And those things can get disrupted. So it's called central sensitization. And essentially with that, there's a few tricks we have with the rehab that hopefully help with that. Like a metronome can be really nice to actually use during those exercises to get activations, to get the brain kind of firing in a different way, to override those kind of old pathways.